Welcome back to CrossTalk. I'm Randy Weiss. This is Jeffrey D. Miller. Are we having fun yet?
Yeah, we are. You know, Randy, it's so exciting for me to be able to help your audience who hears the wisdom that God gives you all the time, hear about where you came from. But you were just talking about your really bad, lost life with drugs and women and abortion and all kinds of stuff. And the question is, how did your parents react to all this? You know, they must have known something.
My parents were so wonderful. They loved me so much. It was like they looked at it, well, it's a phase. He'll grow out of it. Everything was okay until I said I believe in Jesus, you know? But I got to tell you about my dad, because this happened, and it's such a strange thing. I was out hitchhiking with a Jewish buddy. We were hitchhiking around the country. We were actually hitchhiking across Canada, and we got stranded. It was bizarre, and we like 3 days we're stranded, and we're going back to the highway and then walking to a youth hostel, and there's just hippies everywhere, you know. I had hair about down to here and a long beard, you know. I looked the part. I was the part. I was the real deal. I was a mess, but I really thought I was something. I thought I was way cool. And anyways, until I can't get a lift out of this place. And I would go out to the highway, and nobody's picking me up because there's hitchhikers about every 30 feet. You know, there's hundreds of us. And I wrote one of my best BC, before Christ, songs. I laid out on the road with my arm on a fork stick, you know, and I'm just like with a sign. And it's like, man, I am not a motivated hitchhiker. It's like, I've given up. I'm going to be back at the youth hostel tonight because ain't nobody picking me up. Ain't nobody picking nobody up. There ain't enough cars in Canada to get us out of this spot. So all of a sudden I'm scared. It's like, I'm going to die here. I'm never going to get home. And it's like this revelation. You've never seen the bones of a hitchhiker on the side of a road. And I wrote a song, Bones of a Hitchhiker. And for several years, that was like that was the most requested song I did when I would go places. Hey, Randy, play Bones of a Hitchhiker.
When I was about 15 years old, my friend Bob Tilford and I took a bus to Minneapolis. Then we hitched the rest of the way into the Minnesota North Country. When I was older, I hitchhiked cross country by myself. I packed everything I cared about in a knapsack, grabbed my guitar, and moved to Denver, traveling by thumb. Nearly froze to death in an all-night blizzard outside of Omaha. Well, after finally arriving in Denver, I talked my friends into loading up their old VW Bug and driving us all to Mardi Gras. And then after the debauchery of New Orleans, I left my new friends and hitched a ride to Corpus Christi with some other hippies heading to the Yucatan Peninsula. Everyone in the party got visas to enter Mexico but me. I was deemed an undesirable. So I hitched back to Denver and moved to the mountains. I remember drunken rednecks throwing empty beer bottles at me on deserted mountain roads, screaming, "Hey, hippie!" And then after my Jewish pal Marty Vay and I hitchhiked across Canada, I got stranded on a road up that way, and that brings me to the time I wrote this song, The Bones of a Hitchhiker. Got a smile on my face and cold in my bones, waiting for a ride, 'cause my boots are full of stones, yeah. Thinking about a lift, 'cause the road is cold and lonely. If I don't get one soon, somehow this road is bound to mold me. Been here for a day or so, about to break down crying. If I don't get a meal today, I'll be just short of dying. One thing I can depend on, for it's worked till now like gold. You've never seen the bleached out bones of a hitchhiker by the road, no. I think it's really true today. I'll get a ride from here someday. If I'm still here when you come by, slow down and talk or pass me by. It's almost like a second home. I just may stay, my thumb won't roam. But please don't let me be the one with the parched white skull and the skin bare thumb. You've never seen the last remains. They always seem to walk away. Sometimes you think you've just about died. Your thumb brings in the new daylight. You're right next to dying when you find yourself a-crying. Well, here I am alone and weeping. The hitching from my bones is seeping fast. It's almost like a second home. I just may stay, my thumb won't roam. But please don't let me be the one with the parched white skull and the skin bare thumb. If you see me, please pick me up.
Because he loves me, I will live for him. Because he loves me, because he loves me. Because he loves me, I will live for him. Because he loves me, I will follow him. Because he loves me, I will follow him. Because he loves me, because he loves